country music fans. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Coda Country Chats podcast, season 5, episode 2. I can't believe we're here. It's been an amazing summer so far. And if you are a country music fan, if you're on Instagram, TikTok, wherever, you've probably heard our next artist within the last couple weeks. He's had a pretty amazing song go viral, which is really awesome to do these days. Everybody give it up for Tyler Nance. How are you, Tyler?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Things are awesome. So Keep Me Sane is having a moment, as our lovely friend Noelle put it. Very much like out and about in the world right now, people have probably heard this song, whether it's a bit of the chorus or a bit of the verse, they probably have heard it. Let's talk a little bit about your process of writing the song, putting the song together, and then we can go forward from there.
So I wrote like the first verse sitting right here actually, and it was like 3 in the morning, and I was like I just woke up and I was sitting here and I kind of just rambled on the melody and then I just wrote to it, and then I was like, "Look, Tyler, it's time to go to bed." So I was like, I knew I had to write. I had to write here in town, here in Nashville earlier that afternoon. So later that afternoon, and I took it to them and they loved it. And so we just finished the song, and then I teased it, not really expecting anything, and it just went viral and
Yeah.
crazy. And TikTok did its thing. Social media did its thing. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Sorry. And it's crazy how that happens too, because it's like sometimes you never expect it. Like the stuff that you think people are going to attach onto and like really like, sometimes they don't. And I guess it's like an algorithm thing or whatever. But I see why people are attached to this. I feel like this song specifically like drives home this point of, I know these things are kind of like crazy, but this is what keeps me sane. This is what keeps me grounded. Talk to me a little bit about the recording process as far as like once you finish the song with your co-writers, how long did it get you take for you to get it in the studio? How long did it take to like put it all together on a track? All that kind of stuff.
Yes. Um, that day we got like a pretty good day of it, like a demo
Awesome.
of it.
Yeah.
Um, so I had it in the vault and kind of tucked away, and then uh, as soon as I got it in there, I teased it. Then people wanted it so bad, and I didn't want to like just sit on it and not do anything. I wanted to like capitalize on the moment. So we were like the producer that I use. His name's Brent McCullough. He we got it turned around so quick, got the art done, and like less than a week, like we were like, yo, we're putting this song out. And yeah,
Dang.
it was really quick, but the people wanted it, and you got to deliver what the people want.
That's right. There's no gatekeeping. Like we didn't want to just
Yeah.
keep that lighter under a bushel, right? You had to let the people have it, and that's the best way to be. Because I think you've had other success from your EP and then singles that you've released throughout this year too. But I feel like gaining the traction is giving you more attention from this song and then into the other songs. Do you feel
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. I've
Yeah.
seen it. Like my songs, Beer Tabs, which is like one of the first songs that I put out, and Whiskey Me or the Pain, they've just like absolutely skyrocketed from what they were. It was like just a steady little climb, and then released this song, and then people like I guess they really saw I had other good music besides one song, so and saw that I had other music and started streaming the crap out of that one too. So like it was a win there.
It was just about to call it a win-win. That's crazy. It was
Yeah.
like gonna be my next sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so and then you talked about Whiskey Me and the Pain. Another one that I wanted to touch on with you was I'm Not Him. And when I found out about that song, I get all these like email blasts of like upcoming new music. And this one really stuck out to me because of the cover art. I was like, oh, there's
Yeah.
Tyler.
No, there's Tyler.
Let's yeah, go ahead.
So the song's about like basically like you people do a lot of stupid stuff, and me definitely does do a lot of stupid stuff. So I've done stuff that I regret and that I'm not proud of. And
Everyone does. It's okay.
yeah,
Yes.
and it's just like it's kind of just a kind of like talking to yourself kind of thing, and like telling your loved ones that like I screwed up, and like I know what I've done. I know I've done wrong and stuff like that, but that's not the person that I really am. And I don't know, I like to tell that story whenever I play that song live because there's such a young audience, and like I feel like that's something a lot of kids don't understand, is that like you're gonna mess up like all the time. It's like it's part of being a human, and like no matter what you do, like you can you're like that's not you, that's not who you are, that doesn't define you as a person. And I'm a great example. Like I was working on the road, and I got 2 DUIs. Not proud of that, but I did that. And then like in now, like I'm doing pretty good. I'm putting out music, and I got a good
Yeah,
fan base. Like I've like
absolutely.
really done a 180, and like kind of turned my life around. And now I'm just like kind of being the person to like you're gonna mess up, like it happens.
It's a testimony. I feel like what you've
Yeah,
now brought
yeah,
to the
that's
table is very much a testimony. Like, you know, it doesn't, you're not your mistakes at the end of the day. Like, you are not, concreted in life as the mistakes that you've made in the past. Like, you always can rise above. You can always find the next thing that's going to pull you out of whatever you're going through. So, yeah, I'm really glad you shared that story because I'm sure I'm glad, and I'm glad you kind of talk about that on stage too for whomever might be listening because
yeah,
yeah, exactly. There are people who go through stuff like this all the time, whether it be DUIs or I don't know, anything at this point. It's just
yeah,
crazy, crazy
yeah.
life stuff.
No, it's like something I always like to share because yeah, it's like it's I feel like it's very valuable for a younger audience because like you see it at shows, like you have that young audience, but like whenever you're posting, people are posting, I don't think they really like think about like that as much. Like what are like the younger people gonna take from this song? And like I my manager and I, we had he's like, why don't you use your mugshot for that? I said, you know what, like that'd be so cool.
It is. It is very
And
cool.
like it really grabs your attention. I really like to like whenever I do my like artwork, I try to like make people see that and really try to like already have their thoughts what the song is gonna be about, and then like they listen to it and they're either right or wrong, but like it really like makes them want, like pulls them in and stuff. And like kind of like the artwork on Keeps Me Sane.
Hmm.
It's odd, it's different, it's AI
It's
generated, but like
visually catching.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I get that though, because it like I said, whenever I was introducing the song for this little segment, like I saw your mugshot and I was like, "Oh, this is an interesting song because I feel like that's not something like it is something that like you hold on to, but it's not normally something that you would like share for everyone,
yeah.
you know?
Like
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, like I've made mistakes, and like the only way to really move on from that is like accept it and don't try to hide it. Just it's something
yeah.
part of you, and like just embrace it and try to make something positive out of it. And I think I did that in the best way I could with that. Like it's kind of funny, but it's like a true and sad kind of song.
Yeah, it's true. It is. It's very heartfelt. It's very meaningful. And that's, a little bit of your catalog is like that. Going back even further, because we talked about this song too, Whiskey Me or The Pain,
Yeah.
you've had like a great little string of singles, right? Like March
Yeah.
ish was when that came out. And then it's I'm Not Him came out in, late April, I think. And now here we are, July ish, your next one. I mean, I feel like you've just Bam 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 this year. Let's talk a little bit about Whiskey Me or the Pain because I want to know a little bit more about that song too, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of another kind of like, being vulnerable and like just kind of sharing my story, like that song. I was driving through Sioux City, Iowa, headed back from South Dakota, and I was going home to do community service for the two DUIs, right?
Yeah.
And I had kind of like just belted out that like the very first line, like she's probably coked out on a couch somewhere out in Oklahoma. And
Hmm.
I just had a voice recording of that, and like I got home and I was doing community service in a abandoned cemetery, and and,
Like
and I
pulling
was by
weeds and picking
myself.
up trash. Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was by myself, and I I probably shouldn't share this, but I was like, it came out, and like I just started writing the song like in my notes, and I was like,
Yeah.
look, no one's here, no one's gonna know if I leave real quick, so I ran to my buddy's house, got my guitar, got a voice memo of it, so I didn't forget, and yeah, I really I just like the idea. I mean, it kind of just it touches base on like three like addictions, like cocaine, drinking, smoking weed, and how like you don't really know where this girl is, but she could be anywhere. She's probably doing something negative to like get by, and yeah, you want her to come back so you could just like maybe say, hey, what's up? How you been? Where are you? Because you're just so curious. Yeah, that's kind of what that song's about. It's a really personal song because like
I was gonna say.
the
Yeah.
first line's like what started it, and then I kind of just started mentioning other places. Just I don't know, because like I know people from there that have like Arizona, like somebody I knew that had like a drinking problem and drove around and all that. Somebody from South Dakota that smoked a lot of weed, and like I don't know, it's kind of like about three people, but like I made it into one and
Yeah.
just kind of did that thing.
Well,
It's
and
really
I think
crazy.
no, no, no. We were just talking about how, when you perform, I'm not him, you give the backstory. I feel like the story of Whiskey Me or the Pain can really translate into those like people who have someone like that in their lives, who
Yeah.
really are just, you know what I mean? Like it's tough to have somebody that you're like wishing the best for, but you know that they're going through this hell of a time
Yeah.
for lack of a better words, you know? Um, yeah, that's a hard hitter for sure.
Yeah, no, that was one of my favorite songs I had written, and I don't know, it carries a lot of meaning behind it, and like yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, let me touch back on the community service piece. Where, because I kind of did a little bit of research on your bio and that kind of stuff. But for the listeners who haven't like dug in to know a little bit more about you, first of all, tell them a little bit about your background, where you're from, what like got you started making music, and all of that, because I'm sure it would love to know.
so I'm originally from this town called Lamar, Missouri. I grew up there my whole life, and whenever I graduated high school, I went straight into welding school, and so I graduated there at the welding school, and then I went on the road immediately and started welding. And for a little bit, I was kind of just working, going home, having a beer, and then just sitting in my camper. At the time, I was didn't have a camper, but then I got a camper and just went home there. That's what I called home, and just watched Netflix. And I was so bored. Finally, I already had a guitar. I just had
Hmm.
never even tried to learn to play it. So I just went and picked it up whenever I went home for a holiday, and I brought it back with me. I started learning and teaching myself how to play guitar, and then I just like writing just kind of came with it. Like because it was the only way to really get out my feelings and stuff. Because I just never really talked about my feelings, and then I just ended up just writing about stuff that I felt and like my struggles and like stuff that made me angry or stuff that made me happy, but just to kind of cope with stuff instead of coping with in a negative way. I just wrote about it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just my buddy said, "Hey, you need to start posting on TikTok. You're really good." And so I just started posting like every single song that I wrote, covers, just everything. And then finally, like it just kept getting traction, more and more traction. And then an A&R, my A&R now reached out to me and said, "Hey, I really like your music." And I was like, "I don't have any out, so I don't know how." So I was in South Dakota at the time, and then signed with them, and they flew me out here this time last year. And yeah, I recorded 10 songs and then had to fly back to South Dakota to um to work again. Whenever I was here, uh, I was sitting in the hotel room and I just posted a like the bad news video, and it just went absolutely nuts. People were like, "We want this song, we want this song." I'm like, "I'm working right now, like I don't know what to do." I was just like a normal person. I mean, I was trying to like, put music out and make something of it, but I didn't really see that happening at the time. I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
like people like the song, whatever." But then like people really wanted the song, so we finally got it out. And kind of the same thing. It's kind of been full circle. Like with "Keeps Me Sane," this
Yeah.
exact same time last year, I did "Bad News," and it did the same thing. Like I don't know. I think it's just crazy. It's so crazy to me how
It is. And like I said, you just can't expect it. I feel like there's no
yeah
rhyme or reason sometimes for something to just gain attention. And so
yeah
okay, let me rephrase that because some people have the ability to fluctuate and to make stuff happen like that. But for it to happen organically shows exactly how important your music is for the time, how important it is for so many people to hear it and love it and latch onto it. You know what I mean?
yeah
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's really awesome. I had a question, and this was just like one out of the top of my brain. Two questions while you were chatting. You talked about picking up a guitar and teaching yourself and learning. Do you have any like musical family members or like anybody else that you like knew who played music or anything like that?
No, not at
Wow.
all. I no, it's just kind of I felt like it one day and I was bored. Um, so uh, my funny story. My mom and my dad didn't even know like that I did music. Like they didn't know anything really about it like prior to me signing the deal. Like
Wow.
I'm like they knew I like posted on TikTok and wrote songs, but like they just thought I was welding. And then like one day I called my mom. I said, "Hey, I'm signing this deal," and yeah, now I'm here.
It's so cool though that like you just pop out of nowhere and are just writing these amazing songs that resonate with so many people, you know? So, okay, wait, that brings me to my second question. I got back to it. Okay. When you write, are you more lyric driven? Like, do you think of the words first, or do you think mostly melody, or do they go hand in hand?
Kind of hand in hand. Sometimes I got this like really cool melody that like I'll just be like sitting right here and I'll just like come up with a melody and just like start yelling some stuff out and just saying saying stupid stuff and then it sticks. Like it kind of depends. I just kind of throw it like just start rambling stuff on and something comes of it. And like keeps me sane. Like the first verse that I wrote, I kind of just like was mumbling lyrics to myself and just kind of said it out loud and got a voice memo of it. And I just started writing down what just writing stuff down. It's kind of like a mastery of like nonsense, I guess, in a way. Like, I mean, the song has like tons of meaning behind it. It's just like the way I like paint the pictures like so weird, like with like what I'm saying and stuff. And yeah, like here I was like na 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 na, the opening line to it, and then just kept going from there. And then I just like figured out some chords to play to it, and I just got a voice recording of it. And yeah, like I said, I took it to the studio the next day to finish writing. And the guys that I wrote it with seemed to love it, so we just rolled with it, you know.
I love that. No, that's so cool. And I see, I think I said this earlier in the interview, but it really does like show how important of a song it is because of its just like initial
Yeah,
knee jerk reaction from your like viral audience. So
yeah.
kudos to you, brother. I think that's really cool. I'm really glad that you talked to me all about your songwriting style, and it's been really cool to hear more about all of the great things that you have created this year. I can't wait to see what happens next.
There's so many
Yeah,
good
go ahead.
songs that I have. So many
Yeah,
good
I was just
songs
going
that
to
I have
say,
coming up. Um,
that's exciting.
I am so the whole month of June and this whole entire month, I've just been writing like I've had like songwriting sessions, and I've just been writing like 2 to 3 times a day, like on my own, and then like with other people. So like every single day this past month, almost 2 months, I've just been writing, and some of the stuff that I've been writing is just like really shows how I've like developed as an artist and like as a writer. And
Yeah,
yeah, and we've been writing. I've been writing for an album, so I'm thinking I'm gonna be putting out an album here soon. So that's
that's so
exciting.
exciting.
Yeah,
Yay. Lots of awesome things on the horizon. Well, Tyler, I've really enjoyed our chat today. Before we hop off, is there anything that you'd like to promote other than what we've talked about, or like anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to who might be listening?
shout out to my team, my management, the label, publisher Noelle with Country Credits. She's
Yes.
been great. My family. I've got like one of the most supportive families that I might be biased there, but they they really support me, my friend. So but yeah, that's kind of shout out to them. 'Cause, yeah, I
That's
wouldn't
awesome.
be anywhere where I am now without like the team that I have and family and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So
Probably still be welding
I'd be
or at
crashing
least
and
a lot
burning.
more welding. Yeah. No, no, don't say that. Listeners out there, if you haven't already heard Tyler Nance's Keep Me Sane, it dropped on July 11th and it's still having this viral moment on TikTok, Instagram, social media, wherever you're following. If you haven't followed Tyler Nance, go ahead and find him now. And you heard all about it here with me, Leigh, and Coda Country. Tyler, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Oh, there's one more thing. My new song Keeps Me Sane is gonna be on Sirius XM, The Highway, Saturday and Sunday. So y'all should go listen to it this weekend and request the crap out of it and keep this thing rolling. I appreciate it so much. Thank you
That's
for having
right.
me.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. You were so awesome to talk to. And I hope that y'all have a great day out there, listeners. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you.